questions like, do I need an audience to start selling my prints? Should I buy a printer and print it myself, or should I outsource it? Where, if I was outsourcing it, where do you get quality prints? How much money do I need to truly start an art shop? Should I use Etsy or should I use my own website? And it was just, I felt really overwhelmed at where to start and how to start. Hello everybody, and welcome back to The Place for Artists. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining all of my research that I found and exactly what I'm going to be doing to build and start my own art shop. As an artist trying to set up my own art shop and grow my business, a lot of the artists I've talked to have really just told me that you just figure it out as you go, and nobody's going to hold your hand and tell you the steps to do so. So that's exactly what I did. I went out there, I figured out the information I needed to know to start a successful art shop and grow that art shop business. So the first thing that I had questions on was really the paper that you would print your prints on, what type of paper you should use. So when it comes to choosing paper to print on, I really don't want to lose that beautiful texture that you get with watercolor paper by printing it on something that's super smooth and not good quality. From what I've seen, a lot of people will use a cardstock, but I wanted something a little more textured. After reading a lot of reviews, I decided on the Red River Catalog Polar Matte paper. This paper is acid-free and archival, which is really good for ensuring that the acid doesn't break down the colors or breaks down the paper and cause yellowing in the long run. And then it also will absorb and hold those beautiful colors that you spend a lot of time printing out. Now, to be exact, this paper is 88 pounds and it's a photo paper, which feels really nice in the hands because I want to make sure that when someone purchases my art, I want the level and care that it took to do the original painting to feel just as nice as the print version of it. The downside is the only place that I could find the Red River catalog paper is on the Red River catalog website. You can order it off of Amazon and get everything shipped from one place, but I think the quality of that paper will be much worth it. And if you're not like me, I like matte paper because watercolors come out typically very matte. They do offer semi-gloss, gloss paper. They offer pretty much every type of paper, and they offer it in different pounds, so you can really find the perfect paper for you. So the next question I had was, how do you get a clear photo or a clean photo that is high quality of your art piece so that you can get prints of it? So there are two different ways that you can get these high quality files of your artwork. You can either get a really nice camera and take a photo of it, or you can scan it using some sort of scanner. Now, I personally want to scan my work using a Canon CanoScan. I did a lot of research and I think it's a good size flatbed for the artwork that I'm creating. I also think when I was younger, I used to scan my artwork and I liked that crisp, clean look you got. And you could control the DPI, which is the density of pixels per square inch, so you can get the highest quality file so you can make large prints or small prints and not lose any of the detail or anything gets blurry. For the Canon scanner that I'm getting, it's going to cost like $116, which isn't too bad. And then if you wanted to take photos of your artwork, cameras typically cost a lot more. If you have a high enough quality photo on your phone, you could use that, but I'm not too sure how well that will transfer out when going to make prints. Also, if you're going to be doing things like acrylic paintings or oil paintings where they have 3D textured elements, it is highly recommended that you get a really good quality camera and take a photo because it's a lot harder to scan them. But if you have a flat painting like an acrylic ink painting or something that's flat like color pencil or markers, it's best to use a scanner. Some people say that the scanner will wash out the colors, but it all comes down to your editing skills and understanding Photoshop or whatever software you use to edit your photos. Now, the next question, and probably the biggest question we all have, is where do we get art prints for our art shop? Like, where can we go get it printed? I have the answer for you. Again, we have two options for where you're going to get your art prints. There is the option that I'm choosing, which is purchasing a printer and printing it yourself at home. And then you have the other option, which is outsourcing it to a printing service or a printing manufacturer and paying them to make the prints for you. For me, I'm going to be investing into an inkjet printer because inkjet printers are archival. They offer higher quality prints. While they do print slower, we can ensure that each print is of high quality. Laser printers are much better for fast document printing, word stuff, and not really art. So whatever you do, stay away from the laser printers. The other thing you can use are printing services. So there are your local printing services you can go reach out to and see what their prices are. Two that I know of would be CatPrint and Printivity. Now, the nice thing about CatPrint is they do offer making stickers, but the pricing isn't too bad. For pricing, it'll cost anywhere from 90 cents to $3.05 per print, depending on the paper type that you choose and the size of the print. For shipping costs, it's going to cost you anywhere from $7.70 to $40 plus anywhere from 0 to 80% of the subtotal cost, which can be crazy expensive. I did some calculations here. Let's say we make an order of 50 prints at $1 a piece. That's $50 for the prints. Then you're gonna add on $7.70 for 7-day shipping. This is gonna cost around $60 per 50 prints. If you needed to expedite that shipping, let's say 2-day shipping, because you're in a rush or something, that price would jump up to $110 for 50 prints for 2-day shipping. It's a little crazy expensive. I guess if you really plan out in advance, $60 isn't too bad per print. Other brand that I have is Printivity. It is much more affordable than CatPrint, but you also can always, and I encourage you to support your small business printing services. You could get a really good deal, especially if you stick with them and you do high order volume. They might give you a better price than CatPrint, and you wouldn't have to get them shipped. You could go pick them up right in the office. Personally, I would rather print my own artworks just because in the beginning, I know I'm not gonna have high volume, so it'll be much easier for me to just print as I need and then pack them as I need instead of bulk ordering all these prints and praying that people actually order them. It's just, to me, more cost effective and saves me more money in the long run. And I get to also ensure that the quality of the artworks are proper the first time I ship them out and not get a bunch and they're all wrong, because I have seen that happen to a few YouTubers here on the platform. The next huge topic we have are printers. The printers that I'm trying to choose between are the XP970 and the XP15000. Now, the XP970 is only $329 after taxes, and it can print up to A3 or 11x17 prints, but the replacement for all the colors are like $60, which can be kind of expensive, and you can replace them individually, which I know my mom has an Epson and she does have to do that, and it's about 16 to 18 bucks per ink cartridge itself. The other printer, the XP15000, this one prints up to 13x19 inch photos. This one costs just about the same at like $349. When I was looking, so it's like I might as well purchase the better printer that prints larger prints for just a couple extra dollars. In the long run, if I do want to ship my own posters, I can. The one downside with the XP15000 is the 15000 ink is a little more expensive than the 970. It comes in at about 77 bucks for the set and around $20 per ink cartridge, but it does offer much higher quality ink and larger prints. So to me, the couple of dollars outweigh the benefit. No, not that. The couple of dollars outweigh the cons. That's what I meant to say. Like I said earlier, if you're going to follow my footsteps and get your own printer, please make sure that the printer is a inkjet photo printer and not a basic laser printer. The laser printers, they print all right, but you won't get that high quality detail and longer lasting ink like you would with a inkjet printer. This was one of my big questions. Should I sell on Etsy or should I create my own website and sell it on there? For me, I already have a website that I pay for because I do watercolor blogs and I like to share and update you guys on my website. So for me, I'm just going to use that since I already have a shop integration feature on there. Also, the reason why I want to use my own website is in the long run, it is so much more cheaper to have your own website than use something like Etsy. Well, Etsy already has an audience. The amount of money you're paying to not even be pushed in front of that audience is a lot when you could just put that money into putting ads out for your business and getting prints that way, or creating a TikTok account like I do and spreading your business and showing off what you do as a business owner to get more support that way. I have some numbers here for anyone who's like me who wants to see the numbers. Now, to have my website, it's going to cost me about $200 a year to have the website, to have my domain, to host my shop and do everything. It'll cost me about $200. I use GoDaddy to host mine, but you could use things like Shopify or Squarespace, whatever you like. Squarespace, I hear, is a really popular one. My brother uses that, but I just started with GoDaddy and I really like it, so I'm just gonna stick with that. On Etsy, from multiple stores that I've seen and users that have talked about their experience, they'll get anywhere from 0 to 20 visits per day, which is about 600 views a month. So there is more room to be seen, but it's also not a guarantee. And you're also competing against a bunch of other products and product prices. So that can also be a factor of, yeah, you might get the view, but if someone is offering the same thing or something very similar for cheaper, people are probably going to choose cheaper option because that's just the way it is. So let's talk about the fees that come with listing on Etsy. So for each listing that you have, so every product, it's going to be 20 cents and it has to be relisted every 4 months or every time it sells out. The next thing they have is a 6.5% transaction fee. And then they have a 3% payment processing fee plus 25 cents on top of that. So let's say you have an item that costs $25. It would cost you $2.63 in fees for every purchase. And that doesn't even amount to shipping costs if you're going to take it on or if you're going to have the customer take it on, which Etsy really pushes you offering free shipping, and that's going to give them you a star seller or something like that. So it's really frowned upon to have the customer pay for shipping. And then you also have to make sure the shipping is tracked if it's over $20. So take that with a grain of salt on $2.63. If you sold 30 items a month at $25, accruing $2.63 in fees, in a year that would cost you $946.80 in fees, which is a lot more expensive than my website. Do you see what I'm talking about? Like, you're gonna save literally hundreds every year if you just have your own website and do your own taxes. Sales tax is not scary. I'm going to eventually make a video all about sales tax and how I handle that once I get there. But as a person who already has done selling, it's not that hard to collect your sales tax, put it aside, and pay it at the quarter or the end of the year. But if you are completely scared of taxes and you don't want to risk it, I would say use Etsy since they do collect and remit taxes for you, but you will have to take on that hefty Etsy fee, and it's going to be more expensive the more expensive the product is, so do keep that in mind. If you don't mind handling your own taxes or getting an accountant, please go with your own website. You know for sure it's not going to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about it disappearing on you. So now that we have our products, we know where to get them printed, we know where we're going to be selling them, we have the paper, we have all of our things in a row. How do we ship the product, right? That's where things get tricky. How much is it going to be? Well, how do we ship the product and how much will it cost to ship the product? So, oh my God, I don't know if you guys heard that crack, but ooh, I needed to do that. For me, because I live in the US, I'm going to be using USPS. I find that they have the most affordable prices. They ship internationally. They have insurance on your packages. They offer tracking. So I think USPS is just going to be what I use. And let's get into pricing on USPS. The things that you're going to need to ship it. You're going to need a flat mailer or a box. You're going to need some sort of stuffing to make sure everything stays flat and doesn't move around too much. You're gonna need tape for packaging. You're gonna need a printer or a printing label, a label printer, which I'm gonna have a label printer. It costs about $130, and each thing costs, a roll of sheets costs like $20 for like 500 sheets. I looked at the weight, so I gathered up everything I would need to ship a typical package, and then I have each item's weight so we can determine just how much it would actually cost to ship. I'm just going to use within the US, so I'm going to go from Washington, which is where I live, all the way to New York, because that's across the states. So USPS has these different forms of shipping. So if you're going to be using a flat mailer, which is what they call it, anything less than 13 ounces and have a minimum of a 6 by 11 by a 1/4 inch, a 5 by 7 print, and the maximum of a 12 by 15 by 3/4 inch, which is an 11 by 14 print, those are considered flat mailers. Your 5 by 7 print that you're shipping, a single one, is going to weigh about 2.52 ounces, and I'm adding 1 ounce for margin of error. It will cost $5 for basic shipping, like 5 to 7 business day. For a larger print, like an 11 by 14, that total weight is going to be about 8.95 ounces with a 1 ounce margin of error. It'll cost you about $6.25 for basic shipping. The second option is rolling them up in tubes. This is much better for larger prints because it's a tube, it's not going to get crinkled, cut, it's much harder to bend those. Those are going to weigh about 7.07 ounces with an ounce for error. It'll be about $6.25. And for ground shipping, it would cost $10.25. So what we want to look at here is the most something's going to cost for a small print or a large print is $10.25. So when you're calculating how much you're gonna charge for prints and everything, you want to calculate in, are you paying for shipping, or are you gonna make them pay for shipping, depending on what platform you're using and how you do your shipping costs, and how much time and effort went into it, how much profit do you need to make it sustainable. You have to think of all these things when pricing your products. The real question is, how much money are you actually going to need to fully start selling your artwork? So if you're going to be printing with yourself with like a printer that's pretty decent, your scanner, your paper cutter, you're going to be looking at about $1,450. If you're going to use something like Etsy with just the price of like packaging supplies and managing the website, and then also purchasing your prints, you're going to be looking at about $470. If you were going to have your own website and outsource your prints, you'll be looking at anywhere of about $700 to start selling today. So depending on your situation, affordability might be where you start and then slowly save up. Like start with Etsy and then save up to get your own printer and start your own website. And at that point, you'll probably have a bit more of an audience and be able to gauge exactly how much money you're going to need. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is how you should price your prints. This is very important. So I did some calculations, and for a 5 by 7 print, it's going to cost you about $2.60. So this is going to include the cost of the print, the paper, the packing supplies, and everything. If you have more print, of course, it's going to be more expensive. But if you're going to do a single print and you're going to make a profit off of $2.60, I really think that $10 is a decent profit margin for a 5 by 7 print. If you're going to do a larger print, like an 11 by 14 like me, it's going to cost you about $3.10. And I think that charging $18 is pretty affordable, because you have to think how much time and effort that went into the artwork, how many hours you spent on it. You really don't want to undervalue yourself. You can always lower the prices for now, but in the beginning, you don't want to undersell yourself, because then you're going to lose out on money when it comes to shipping or something that you actually didn't know was going to be costing a lot more than you thought. Hopefully this video helped you guys, but if you're in debt like me and you really don't know where to start when it comes to budgeting so you can start building your business, click this video here and you'll really get an insight on what you need to do to get started. Bye!